And we are back for game number 3, 0-0, screen serve right out of the gate. This is Sean Lenning serving to Dave Chapman.
2 serves, 1 screen.
You didn't agree with the screen serve?
I don't talk about the referee. It's just something I don't do.
Right out.
Unless you're playing.
I don't think you saw me talking to the referee yesterday either.
I heard it from 3 courts away. 0 serve 0.
Now you're just lying.
That's what I do best.
They call you George Costanza. Dave opened this tiebreaker with a beautiful kill down the right side wall.
Don't think Sean was happy about that slide call. 0 serve 0. Great camera angles.
Tremendous kill there from Sean.
Feeling the serve, I called the serve good. 1 agrees, 1 disagrees, call stands. Right out.
One line judge saw the ball hit the line. The other one said it was over. Referee thought it was over. Dave Chapman didn't think it was over. 0 serve 0. We're going to 11.
These guys have been in and out of the box twice here, Dave. No points scored. And Sean hits the deck.
That's a good call from the referee there.
Sean does the right thing there by staying down.
Let's look at it here on the big screen. That ball had a little wrinkle on it. Yeah, that's a good call.
Would have really been a questionable call if that ball hit the crack and possibly stayed down, and then Dave doesn't have a play on it. But that ball did pop up.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. You're listening to the voice of number 6 world ranked pro David Fink. And that other guy who once played handball years ago.
0-0.
Then he started eating In-N-Out Burger.
Short.
And liked the way that he felt when he ate.
Second serve.
Just trying to paint a picture.
Right out.
Sean goes for the deep court kill and misses it.
0-0.
Score now is 0 serve 0.
Side out.
And now it's Dave missing a back wall kill. He went into the left corner on that kill shot attempt. You don't see him go
0-0.
into the left corner off the back wall from the deep court very often, Dave. It looked like that was his intent. And he didn't have the right spin.
We will go to Fred Lewis during the next replay or the next available time. Look at that get right there from Dave Chapman. And then Sean
Amazing
Lenning.
rally right there.
Sean Lenning then puts it away at the very end.
And you see Dave waste no time after a long rally, asks for the towel. He'll get at least a 90-second break here as they wipe up the court. This is just incredible handball, Dave, and this is why we've got the best officials in handball here to let that play develop and continue.
I'm not sure if he is courtside, but I believe he is. Let's go to Fred Lewis really quickly here.
Well, that was a great rally, great for the spectators. You know, 2 of them making unbelievable gets. And, you know, I want to echo what you said about the referee allowing the play to develop.
It's been echoed.
I'll echo it again. This is a big canyon we have back here.
Strategic move on your part there, Dave, to go to our sideline reporter so you could get a couple bites of your In-N-Out burger.
Well, I've been in broadcasting for more than half my life. I know how it's done.
Almost like these players going to the towel when they need a little break. You go to the on-court reporter.
I go to the
for
food.
a couple bites.
Yeah, right. Every time I've gone to Fred, I've taken a couple bites. Don't think didn't come prepared.
That's consecutive back wall shots that Dave's missed, and Sean with a very poor fly kill there with his left hand. Just a simple shot for Sean.
Sean should be serving at 3-0 right here.
Well, you could easily say that Dave could be serving because Dave missed 2 back wall kills that you might see him never miss.
There's Dave Chapman. This is the tiebreaker. The score is 0-2, going to 11.
We'll see if that missed opportunity haunts Sean, because that was a very easy fly kill with his left hand. That ball
Slid. Looks like
And that's a miss hit from Dave.
Sean didn't think Dave got that. Now they're playing tiddlywinks up here. Sean's going to cut that ball off. Dave goes down to the corner.
We'll see if we can go to a replay here. Sean's not happy right now. You see him actually. We'll go to that front wall camera to see if we can get this angle here.
Yeah, that looked like Dave got it there. What do you think, Dave? That was where the question was that one where Dave was off balance running forward. Can we look at this again, Chris? Let's go back. That's the shot right there from Dave Chapman in the white shirt coming over. Did he get that before? Yes.
Looks like he did. Sean making a huge mistake there, not finishing the point out. Yes, he did get that ball. Now Sean's in a great position. Look at him standing straight up and down here. He's looking at Dave rather than the ball. He could have hit that ball with his right hand, which he does, but all he has to do is take that ball back down the right. I'm going to say that, Dave, that this is going to be the turning point of this tiebreaker. I think Dave Chapman will go on to win this tiebreaker because of a simple mistake right there from Sean. These two sort of have a history together, Dave. They're friendly rivals, but you know, Dave, that in frustration in Toledo over a year ago, Sean hitting the ball back into the court with a fist hit Dave right in the face, unintentionally, but.
I like that shot right there from Dave Chapman. Now it's another point for him. You're right. They do have a kind of a strange history, not the type that you want to have with another player, but it's sort of like on-court antic type history. Strange occurrences have taken place. 2-2 is the score. What were you going to say, Dave?
It could easily be Sean serving at 3-1. Had that rally in hand where he stopped playing.
Look at that dive kill right there from David Chapman. Now 3-2.
This is one of the best shots we've seen all match. Sean hit a great corner kill right here. Dave dives, and Dave not only dives, but he re-kills when he gets his hand on those great gets. Sean's a little bit frustrated right now. We saw this, Dave, in the 2007 U.S. Open final when Sean Lenning led Paul Brady 7-1. Paul Brady hitting that return of serve that looked like it could have been a skip, and they actually ended up replaying it. Sean was so disgusted by that, he went on to lose the next 4 or 5 points and relinquished that lead, went on to take a 10-7 lead, but you have to wonder, had Sean been able to put that behind him at 7-1, would he have been able to cruise and close out that tiebreaker? Instead, he let Paul Brady back into the match. Paul Brady closed the lead and ended up winning that match 11-10.
The score now is 3 serves 2. Back to the lob.
Complete miss hit there, and an even worse miss hit from Sean. I think, Dave, you and I just shaking our heads. We watch a lot of handball. It's very rare that you'll see 2 balls misplayed that badly at this level. Hard to believe Sean would come in there and shank that ball right off the bottom of his hand at such a crucial moment.
Score is 4-2, Dave Chapman up. This is the tiebreaker. We're going to 11. This match has been...
There's been a lot of ebb and flow in this match, Dave. A lot of big runs.
We've had some very exciting plays, but it's been very slow paced.
Generally, Dave, you see the contrast in Dave Chapman matches where generally he's not the most powerful player, but...
Did Sean get that to the front wall? He did. Dave Chapman doesn't make it on the dive. That was one of the most amazing back wall slams with his left hand that I've ever seen right there. Watch this replay. This is unbelievable.
Sean takes this ball with his left, hits the back wall, left side wall, a 4-wall kill.
You know, Sean gets those shots from playing, you're going to laugh at me, but that...
I don't want you to finish
that
it.
Double bounce game that he plays, I've seen him do those type of shots. He has a really cool command of the court, knows how to get that ball back to that corner in double bounce. I've seen him do that many times in double bounce, but not running as fast as he can with the offhand, but he knows if he hits it back to that left side wall, it'll come back over, and he has a possibility of getting a point. This time, though, it was a side out.
Interesting, Dave, and more interesting, I completely agree with you.
I've seen Sean do it many times. He said it was a shot he invented.
Side out.
But he invented it in double bounce. The score here is 4-2.
Strange error there from Sean. We've seen more hand errors by Sean in this tiebreaker than we saw combined in the first 2 games. A strange decision there to take that ball out of the air with his left. A nice safe 2-wall shot there from Sean.
Ooh.
Just an amazing shot there from Sean. We'll get a great look at this here. Dave wraps this ball around. Sean takes this with his right hand and puts it in the left corner. Incredible degree of difficulty there. That's a smart shot there from Sean. And now it's Dave going to the back wall first. Sean aware, takes that ball out of the air, but
Replay.
Ooh. Here's Sean Lenning with a burst of... He's in worst position of anything I've ever seen in my life.
Look at it when I called it. I'm sorry.
Sean Lenning has an argument, but how it's very difficult to not call that.
I agree with you, Dave. In the end, it turned out to not be a hinder, but it certainly looked as the play was unfolding that it was an obvious screen.
Sean doesn't lose matches, so he hasn't reffed much. But that would be a tough one to call for a referee either way. There's a side out.
The 5th hand error for Sean Lenning here in this tiebreaker. He's lucky, actually, Dave, to be trailing only 4-2. With this amount of errors, this game could have easily been out of hand at this point.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Dave Chapman
4-2.
serving at 4-2 against Sean Lenning.
Sean's made a couple of amazing shots here in this tiebreaker, and also a few that just leave you scratching your head.
Dive get from Dave Chapman and a point from him. That was a beautiful shot from Dave Chapman. Really slow getting up, too.
You see, Dave, how he dives in there. It looks like he has to go to his left on this dive right here. And at the last second, changes the angle of his hand and flips that ball back down the right. So the worst thing that can happen there, Dave, is that's a replay. Instead, he ends it with a 3-inch high re-kill.
Let's go back to the gallery really quick. We have Fred Lewis, 6-time national champion, WPH president, with the microphone. Fred, what's going on? Why is the energy so low in the gallery out there? We have every seat taken, filled. We're also in an overflow room right now with a big screen monitor. This place is also packed, but yet we don't sense the energy. Is it because there's not a hometown favorite here?
No, I think it's the pace of the game right now. You know, the court is wet. There's a lot of diving going on, and as a result, you know, there's no continuity of play. You know, they're stopping play after almost every volley, a lot of ceiling volleys. But, you know, we've still seen some amazing gets, you know, from both players, and every time they've made a get, it's been appreciated by the gallery.
We're back into play. Thank you, Fred Lewis. There's a dive, and that looked like it hurt.
You know, Dave, I'm always amazed hearing you talk about the gallery. I don't know what you expect the gallery to be doing. I mean, should they be doing jumping jacks or cheers or the wave? I'm not sure what you expect from the gallery in handball.
I think everything you just said. I'm kind of wish I saw some beach balls and some of the things you didn't mention. You know, cannons shooting shirts and
hot dogs out of the can. I know that's your favorite moment of every baseball game.
Like the hot dog out of the cannon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we'd have that here to kind of get the crowds going here. Sean Lenning very slow getting up. Sponsored by the New York Athletic Club, Sean Lenning is. Dave Chapman is sponsored by Owen Gloves and himself.
Well, that doesn't really make sense.
Well, he's got his own website, and his full-time business is promoting handball and doing camps.
6-2.
6 serves 2. If you actually ever had an intuitive idea or had an invention, you'd know what I was talking about.
So you're there.
Not leaving. There was a great shot from Dave Chapman, rolled out left wall. There's a timeout call from Sean Lenning. Maybe we can get Fred Lewis to get an interview with Luis Moreno. Fred Lewis has a wireless microphone, so he can get up from his seat and walk over to any number of person. He could even talk to one of the players who's coming out of the court. Let's go to Fred Lewis and see if we can get some more analysis.
We're going to do a quick here with Luis because obviously he's got a match coming up. How you feeling today after yesterday's match?
I'm feeling great. Just a little sore, but I'll be all right once the the match gets going.
You know, you played Allen a lot. He's got a record against you. What do you think you need to do today to beat him?
I think I just need to stay on my game, hit my shots, and don't let that get to my head. Anything about the record or anything. It doesn't mean anything. So just gonna try to play my best and hit every shot I can.
Okay, thanks, Luis. Good luck.
You know, it's interesting, Dave, handball players not interviewed all that often, but they have all the cliches of all the other athletes from every other sport. I'm just going to play my game. I'm going to hit my shots. I'm not going to worry about the past. Amazingly, Luis managed to throw in 4 or 5 cliches in just 10 seconds.
I thought I was listening to Snoop Dogg there for a second. Luis Moreno is getting ready for his match. He's going to hit his shots. He's not going to worry about the past. He's not going to think of his partner.
Snoop Dogg's an athlete?
Just the way the rhythm came out, it was so smooth. Never really saying anything, just kind of repeating the same words over and over, but doing it in a smooth way.
Kind of like what you do with the headset.
Exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Score is 7-2.
Point.
Another inexplicable hand error.
8-2.
8
This is
serves
why
2.
Dave is so tough to beat in a tiebreaker because he won't give you anything, Dave. Particularly in a tiebreaker. He tightens up his game even more, and he'll force you to make shots. And as we've seen here from Sean Lenning, he's been unable to capitalize on the opportunities he's had. He's had a number of opportunities here in this tiebreaker, Dave. And there's Sean executing one of the toughest kill shot opportunities that we've seen. And now you see Sean looking in dismay as Dave cleaning the court. Sean's a little bit aggravated here with the pace of play. Sean finally hits a good shot, Dave, and now he has to wait 45 or 50 seconds before he's able to put the ball back into play.
It has to be frustrating for Sean, but Dave Chapman kind of seems to like this sort of thing.
Is there a way, Dave, that you can outlaw diving in handball? I don't think so.
Wow. Another nice shot from Sean Lenning.
Well, you remember, Dave, he had that exact same shot when he led 2-0 in this tiebreaker, had the same opportunity with his left hand on the return of serve, and just hit it right back to Dave about 8 feet high. Lost that rally and obviously
Second serve.
was taken out of the server's box and lost 8 points in a row. It's just that simple, Dave. A couple of shots here and there can make a huge difference in the momentum of a game. Sean anticipates that shot.
Ooh. Point.
And Dave just looked a little clumsy there on that back wall miss. And let's see if we can get a look at this here. Dave goes for the left corner here, doesn't get it. Sean gives him a big setup here. And look at Dave here. Just you see his footwork just a little off there. Catches that ball behind him and
Second serve.
almost trips himself up.
Side out.
And there's the second serve streak continues. He has not won 1 point when he's hit a second serve since the
8-4.
first game.
Is that just an adjustment he needs to make on what he's doing in the second serve?
Well, Sean's always had a great second serve. He hits that hard, deep two-wall serve from the right side of the court. He's not hitting that anymore. And now he's hitting that lob.
Seems to miss the easy ones, and he makes the hard ones.
Well, that was a tough shot. Sean's falling back.
9-4.
Isn't that what Sean likes, is to fall back?
Still wouldn't call that an easy shot. Here's a big setup for Dave.
That ball reverses out now. Dave Chapman scores another point here. Now at 10-4 and 1 point away from taking the match and going to the finals of the U.S. Open of Handball. Dave Chapman serving to Sean Lenning.
10, match point, serves 4.
We're going to see if we can get Fred Lewis to have a chat with the winner of this tiebreaker right after they exit the court. Actually, Fred can walk right onto the court as well, which would be better for lighting. Let's see if that can happen.
Side out.
In other words,
As quick as Dave is to pick up re-kills, he's just as quick to get off the court and leave the facility. So that'll be a challenge.
if Fred can beat
4-10.
whomever wins this out of the court.
Side out.
Sean Lenning is a lingerer. So
Sean Lenning's decision-making, Dave, has sharply declined since that first game win. You see there actually trying to take that ball behind his back.
Slide.
with that said, at this point, I give Sean Lenning the player of the tournament for making it this far with that, what we thought was a bad shoulder.
Actually, they give the player of the tournament the first place check and the trophy. That's why we play.
Now every ball that's
Comeback player of the tournament, maybe?
maybe so.
Replay.
The Horizon Award winner.
10-4.
Just making up terms now. This is game and match point. Winner goes to the finals to face the winner of the Garner-Moreno match that's coming up next.
Slide.
I'll have to wonder here, Dave, if the next men's semifinal will be played on this court, because we've seen the last 3 or 4 rallies has been nothing but slide balls. Every ball that's touched the side walls is taken off like it hit a patch of ice. Certainly would be a shame, Dave, if the gallery had to move, and the players and all the equipment. But we'll do what's best for the quality of play here.
And the player's safety, which should be first.
Side out. .410.
4 serves 10. This is the tiebreaker, going to 11.
Replay that.
Between the replays and the towel timeouts and the slide balls and the glove changes, this one has now lasted
.410.
almost 2 hours.
Good.
Getting close.
Second serve.
Well, you know, Dave, they play matches at the U.S. Open tennis tournament that are over 4 hours. So I'd hate to hear you announce those. You must be really upset by that length of time.
I'm actually not upset. In a pretty good mood right now.
Okay. Sounds like you're upset.
Really?
Because you keep mentioning the various timeouts and glove changes.
Trying to quantify the timeouts, or at least explain why you're seeing so many. It's strange because it's not raining outside, the sun's out, but this morning it was really drizzly, and if you've ever spent time on the coast, it's like the coastal rains where it's a mixture between fog and a light rain, and it becomes very, very humid. You're not sure if it's really raining or if it's really just wet fog, but out here everything was drenched.
5-10.
Now the sun is out. Hopefully that will help us.
Slide. Replay.
This is becoming ridiculous now. Trying to
Assuming
get this. This is like the umpires in a Major League Baseball game that are just trying to get the match over with, get a couple more outs so they can get out of the inning.
Well, if that was the case, our referee would not have called a slide there.
5-10.
I'm assuming that ball slid on the floor, which is not a good sign. If the ball is now sliding on the floor and the sidewall.
Replay that.
And now we're really stagnant here, Dave. We've replayed 4 consecutive rallies.
5-10.
5 serves 10.
get there from Dave, and Sean didn't expect Dave to get that. I'm shocked.
Side out.
Sean's in a great position to end that rally, but he thought the rally was over. And you'll watch here, Dave, you see this? Sean thinks the point is over. That was an easy left-handed pass he had lined up had he been ready for that return.
I think Sean was thinking it was going to be another one of those either slide or hinder calls that we've been seeing. 10 serves 5. Dave going over to Sean's right there. I think that's maybe to avoid that slide up top. Here's a big setup for Sean Lenning. This is game and match point, and Dave Chapman wins the match finally, 11-5 after just over 2 hours of handball here on the show court. Los Caballeros Sports Village in Fountain Valley. David Chapman is now in the finals to face the winner of Luis Moreno or Alan Garner. Quickly, though, we are going to go into that court as Fred Lewis is going to talk briefly with David Chapman. Fred?
David, congratulations. Not the prettiest match you've ever played. What are your thoughts?
I thought I looked pretty out there. I disagree. I'm pretty. No.
I didn't say you weren't pretty.
Okay. It was a very tough match. This court is very difficult to play on. The ball's not bouncing correctly on any shot. So it looks like we're both not executing shots, but we're watching the ball and it's bouncing erratically, which forces us to not be able to set up on shots. My favorite shot is when it hits a front wall, sidewall, and I can dump down the right. Every time I'd go for that, it would take an erratic bounce, so I had to back up and try and play more defense against him. And it looked like I got him tired in the end. I was also tired, but I felt like I was in better shape than he was. And that was the big difference, was just him making hand errors and me being consistent.
You know, the guys in the play-by-play booth were wondering, it's pretty obvious that Sean's right was bothering him. How come you didn't serve more to his right hand?
Well, I felt like I was getting the returns that I wanted off of my lob. I just wasn't putting them away. And for me to completely change my game to start serving down the right, it's just really not my game, and I don't think I have a good enough serve to where he can't hit a short stroke winner. He wasn't struggling down here, he was struggling up here. It was hurting him up here and over here. But return a serve, it's not going to bother him.
Well, it looked to me like you just wanted to, lob him down the left and get a back wall set up, off of a miss. He hit some incredible shots. Did he surprise you at all with some of the shots that he pulled out today?
Yeah, the first game he was just unstoppable, and I don't think there's anybody in the game that can do anything when he's taking the ball up here and killing it low. I mean, when he's on, he's just absolutely an amazing player, and I didn't have an answer for it. My only answer was to keep him moving. I knew I was going to lose the first game, but if I kept him in the court long enough, I knew that could help me in the tiebreaker, which it did.
Well, we got Luis Moreno and Alan Garner up next here. Do you prefer to play one or the other, or how do you think this match will turn out? What are your thoughts?
They're both easy for me, so I don't really care who I play. No, I'm kidding. I think it's going to be a really well-fought match. I think Garner might win the first, and I think if Luis wins the second game, I think he might win the match.